Now, let's take a closer look at the different types of SQL queries, which are essential to understanding how we interact with databases. First up is DDL, or Data Definition Language. This category includes commands like create, alter, and drop, which are used to define and manage the structure of database objects such as tables and indexes. Next, we have DML, or Data Manipulation Language, which includes commands like insert, update, and delete. These are the tools we use to actually manipulate the data stored within those structures. Moving on, DQL, or Data Query Language, primarily involves the select statement. This is how we retrieve and view data from our databases. Then there's TCL, Transaction Control Language, which includes commands like commit and rollback. These help us manage transactions, ensuring data consistency and integrity during multiple operations. Finally, we have DCL, or Data Control Language, with commands like grant and revoke. These are vital for controlling access and permissions within the database system. Understanding these different query types is fundamental because they form the backbone of how we work efficiently and securely with databases across various applications. Let's talk about Data Definition Language, or DDL for short. This is the part of SQL that we use to define or modify the structure of our database objects, like tables, views, and indexes. Essentially, whenever you need to create a new table or change an existing one, you're working with DDL commands. The key commands here are create, which is used to set up new objects, alter, which modifies existing objects, drop, which deletes objects from the database, truncate, which quickly removes all data from a table without logging individual row deletions, and rename, which changes the name of a database object. These commands are foundational because they shape the structure of our database, ensuring it fits the data an application needs. Throughout this presentation, you'll see how these DDL commands are vital in designing and maintaining robust, efficient databases. Now let's talk about DML, or Data Manipulation Language. This is the part of SQL that we use when we want to manipulate data inside tables. It's all about changing, updating, or managing the data we've stored. The key commands here are insert, update, delete, and merge. Insert is used when we want to add new records to a table. Think of it as creating new entries. Update allows us to modify existing data, perhaps changing a customer's address or updating a product price. Delete is for removing records that are no longer needed. And merge, which is a bit more advanced, helps us combine data from different sources or synchronize tables efficiently. These commands are fundamental because they enable us to manage the data effectively, ensuring our databases stay accurate and up-to-date. Remember, in the context of overall database management, DML is what keeps our data dynamic and relevant. Now, let's talk about DQL, which stands for Data Query Language. This is the part of SQL that's used when we want to fetch or retrieve data from a database. It's really the gateway to accessing the information stored within our systems. The most important command here is select. When we use select, we're telling the database exactly what data we want to see. It's essentially how we ask the database questions and get answers back. This makes DQL a vital tool for data analysis, reporting, and decision-making. Throughout this presentation, we've been emphasizing how crucial efficient data retrieval is, and DQL, with the select command, is at the heart of that process. So, understanding how to effectively use select helps us unlock the full potential of our data. Now, let's talk about TCL, or Transaction Control Language, which plays a crucial role in managing database transactions. Essentially, TCL commands help us control the flow of a transaction, allowing us to either commit our changes or undo them if necessary. The main commands here are commit, rollback, and savepont. When we use commit, we're telling the database that we're satisfied with the current changes, and they should be permanently saved. On the other hand, rollback allows us to undo any changes made during the transaction, restoring the database to its previous state. And then there's savepont, which is a bit more granular. It lets us set a specific point within a transaction so we can roll back to that point if needed, rather than undoing everything. These commands are integral to maintaining data integrity and consistency, especially in complex operations. They connect directly to the overall theme of managing database operations efficiently and safely. Now let's talk about DCL, or Data Control Language. This part of SQL is all about managing permissions and access rights to the data in our database. It's crucial because it ensures that only authorized users can view, modify, or delete data, maintaining security and integrity. The key commands here are grant and revoke. Grant is used when we want to give specific permissions to a user or role, like allowing someone to select or update certain tables. On the other hand, revoke is used to withdraw those permissions when they're no longer needed or if access needs to be restricted. Understanding how to control who can do what in the database is fundamental to effective database management. It ties back to our overall theme of ensuring data security and proper access controls in any database system.